Where would we find those documents there, Tom?
You will find them, if you're on the Yahoo group, you should have an email for each one of these documents. If you're on the, you should have also got a welcome email today if you're in the Yahoo group, which shows you how to get to the backup, econcurrent.com/divine. And it's in folder number 38, American Constitutional Banking. Unfortunately, that folder is not yet in reverse date order, whereas the folder, as it's listed in the Yahoo group, is in reverse date order. So you can get everything after the 23rd of March, which was our last call. These are the new documents. The last will of my ostensible agent, the McCarver paper on the probate exception to federal diversity rules, jurisdiction, the Art .250-255, an equivalent article, the lien.doc, which is a series of definitions, the special BC endorsement template for the reverse of your certificate of live birth, and it looks like it has the same endorsement as the SAV forms, which seems to me that you will basically get a medallion endorsement on the back of the certificate. Then there's a SF 1047 public voucher. Then he has a live estate deed. And in fact, I didn't get the original. I have just the revision one up there. We have a document on contract termination. I put the Judiciary Act of 1789 because those papers on the probate exception keep referring to this Judiciary Act of 1789. And then there's a paper of death of contracts, and he has three different documents on that. Gordon's review of Gilmore's death of contracts, a book review of the death of contracts, and is there life after death, after Gilmore's death of contracts. So this will be part of killing off all the contracts. It's a lot of reading. I started it. I've really got to get into it more thoroughly.
Why this based upon the Constitution Rev 1 document, which is about it's about 10 down or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's the equivalent of the cover sheet that we included on our Green Jacket filing, and it's looking like we'll be converting the Green Jacket filing into a bankruptcy case, with most of the papers suitable just as they are.
Oh, I see. You just re-added it, same one.
Right. I think there's a slight change in wording. I have to go over it again. So it's good to have. I have all these documents up because I'm sure Patrick will be referring them all to them, and it'd be good to get them in order and get them wrapped up. Because boy, he really got into a lot of things this time. It's amazing the documents he finds. I can bring my fire while I take my notes. So one of the questions I'll have for him today is, it looks like it made back on that we can take our certificate of live birth and deposit it in an account that we have set up for our individual banker. That may be possible. There may be reasons we shouldn't be doing it.
Okay, this is Patrick. I'm on the line.
Yes, Patrick, we got it fired up.
You recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay. Okay, yeah. The one document, I sent you another document for more words. The alien, a lien document, okay, Rev 1. That's got a few additional words listed in there. Okay. That one document that I posted up today, basically that
It's still downloading, Patrick. As soon as it downloads, I'll post it.
Okay. My American Admiralty, a lien vessel, Rev 2. Okay.
All right.
That document, that is the one that you need to put in with your baptismal certificate. Now, anybody that's been naturalized in this country needs to go and get a new baptismal certificate here in this country. Because that baptismal certificate, of what it is doing, it is Christening your vessel as an American vessel here in this country. You have to have basically a document showing that your name has been bestowed upon you and that you have, your vessel has been blessed to have all its rights and protections given to it per the Constitution of this nation, and that you are flying the flag of the Constitution, United States of America. Okay? Then you have your full rights and protections. You try and fly a foreign flag or a rebellious flag, and basically you're going to be treated as a rebel. Like flying the Confederate flag. You want to fly that flag? Well, basically you're not going to get anything because you're a revolt against the nation. You have to be under the protections of the nation, and we're operating under American Admiralty, a lien, okay? We have been, all of our documents have been a liens out here, and we have to perfect our lien claims. This is per the American Admiralty and Roman Christening laws of christening a vessel. And christening a vessel goes all the way back to basically the very beginning in the Bible. You had to have your name bestowed upon you, and then you had to be blessed to go out on your own and have your rights and protections afforded to you. When we perfect our Admiralty, a lien claims, then we can ouster all of the alien property custodians. The state of Iowa or the state of whatever, Attorney General, is the alien property custodian for your state property. The U.S. trustee is basically acting as the alien property custodian for your federal district by way of the Attorney General's office. Do we need to get a bankruptcy case? No. We turn around and we put claims into that bankruptcy clerk of the court. We claim items. The clerk of the court then would have to process those claims up to the U.S. trustee if he's still acting as the custodian. But we're going to ouster that custodian, and they got 5 days to turn over the property to us or release the assets to us so that we can basically have clear claim to go to the Treasury. the stuff we sent into the Bureau of Physical Services may be being held up because of the alien property custodians. Haven't released their claim over the property yet. This is the first document you need, and basically it's going in as an actual notice of cause of action by, in my case, Patrick Devine. My American Admiralty, a lien living vessel christening certificate and perfected a lien claims. This is an Admiralty lien. A lien on a vessel enforceable by a suit in rem in Admiralty for repairs, supplies, towage, use of dry dock or marine, railway, or other necessities furnished to the vessel. You are the vessel. Repairs, bandages, whatever, supplies, food, towage, travel, hospital bed, dry dock, other necessities. In that a lien document, I put the definition of necessities or necessities in there. They were to pay all of our bills. We had to turn around and put the claim into the clerk of the court at the bankruptcy court. Hospital bills, medical bills, educational bills. All of your necessities. Were to be furnished. So, basically, look over this document. I tried to modify it to where I could get as much on that one-page document as possible. For official use only, that is where they should put the stamp for the book and page and everything, that what book or volume or whatever they're going to place this document in. And it should be in a notice book of notices, something along that lines. Some people have already done some of these type items. If they have, speak up on the call here. The other side, on the left-hand side, would be where they would do their certification. When they copy this, they would then put their certification stamp on there, and then basically somewhere on the document they should put their embosser seal on that document. I don't know how much they're going to charge for these when we get these out. For the DD-214, basically they don't charge anything. But I think that might be under a different item. Now, the other item that I'm working on is basically doing a document that is going to be called pretty much the same first header, but the second line is going to be my perfected American Admiralty, a lien, and life estate deed. In common law and statutory law, a life estate is the ownership of land and property for the duration of a person's life. In legal terms, it is an estate in real property that ends at the death, when the ownership of the property may revert to the original owner, or it may be passed to another person. We are going to, as the living, we are the grantor. And we're going to turn this over to our grantee, like Patrick Devine, ostensible agent, for my individual banker's EIN, for the Patrick Devine Private Bank E&T, a non-profit, non-hire, not-for-hire, and tax-exempt private bank located at the Safe Harbor address, and then I put my address. We will be operating under safe passage and safe harbor when we do this first document. And then we will send these into the bankruptcy court, a copy of these, and ouster that alien property custodian U.S. trustee. We will send a copy of these into the state attorney general's office and ouster the state attorney general from all the documents we have at the state. They have to turn over the assets over to us. Most of those assets will be coming out of the CAFR funds. This, like in my case, the State of Iowa Bankrupt Trust, CAFR fund. The credits that are being held under the driver's license and identification card, my voter registration card, my Iowa vehicle salvage title and previous title, to my pickup. They were the promisors. We were the promisees. We gave a promisee's signature letter of credit release to allow the promisors to construct lien contracts known as bondable marketable titles and entitlement securities by the custodians for their corporate hirings and beneficial corporate profits. These contracts were constructed in fraud. We can terminate them at any point in time. I've got another document. I don't know whether I posted that one yet or not to you, Tom, but it's going to be called What is Termination of Contract?
You just have a document called contract termination.
Okay, that's probably it. Okay? Yeah. It's a one-page document. And see, these contracts were never constructed on sound contract principles. You don't have a copy of the contract.
Right. This is a contract termination sample letter.
Yes. And there's a couple different areas there. When is a termination of a contract lawful? What happens when a contract is terminated? Should I contact a lawyer? Shit, you don't need a lawyer. Probably no more than a damn lawyer does right now. Because they're out there trying to keep this thing going because they get kickbacks. They're just brokers, and all brokers get a brokerage fee.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Leroy. And see, that's what all these bar association people are. They're just brokers. Everybody in that attorney general's office is a broker, except for maybe the secretary, and she's probably just broke.
Yeah, because they trade all of these instruments on the market.
Yeah, we know that, okay? That's why you've got the state insurance division, because the state insurance division can write the bonds, but they can't process the bonds there. they turn around and take the bonds and process them across state lines over to the DTC. That's why all of our items are going into the federal court system, and we're coming in Admiralty. In Admiralty is where we get our protections, because we are in Admiralty. Admir. The first 5 letters of Admiralty. I said this before. That stands for Prince. That is our court, not the state courts. It's the federal court of equity, of true justice in Admiralty. See, that's one of the key things that all the patriots out here, they were trying to fight against being in Admiralty. And they got everybody to go in there and say, well, I don't want to be in an Admiralty court. That's the court you want to be in. And basically, then the state courts can't do anything with you. You can't be in that state court if you stand in Admiralty, because the state courts are prevented from handling Admiralty cases. I've known that for quite a while. But this really brings it out, especially when I found that definition about the Admiralty lien again and looked it over and said, whoa, right there it is. That's telling everything that we need. And basically, they have to supply all of those items to us when we stand in Admiralty. You stand as a belligerent in any other jurisdiction, and you're not going to get any settlement. We don't need to create a court case. We come in and put our claims in. Big difference. Only someone that's begging for something, a benefit or something, has to put a court case in. So when we come in and we basically have the authority behind us in Admiralty, then basically all we have to do is come in and claim payment. Claim our credits that are owed to us. All the receipts that we've paid out of our back pocket, those are credit receipts. We have to turn in those receipts and claim our credits back, because we deposited that amount of money into the circulation system out here. All corporations have to borrow money. They have to zero their books at the end of the year. Therefore, they have to borrow money to operate, to go out and obtain the products that they're going to be processing. Where do they borrow from? They borrow from our credits that are being held in trust, either in the United States Bankruptcy Trust Reserve, in most cases, or against our individual accounts that are held off budget. They owe us everything. They've been using our assets. They owe us. We don't owe them shit. Income taxes. We don't owe any income tax. All you're doing is putting more credits on deposit for their usage. we have to start going in and claiming what we have basically paid out all year long. All of these contracts that they constructed are basically contracts of the dead. Therefore, they're claiming you are getting a death benefit. And that's what they're trying to tax, is death benefits. Because they're giving you something out of this dead contract. But you have to come in and perfect your lien against those contracts and terminate those contracts. Then you get your assets properly brokered, those securities properly brokered, and turned back over to you. You need all three EINs. And down the road, you'll need a fourth one. You need a foreign grantor trust EIN. You need an estate EIN over all of your estate property, which basically, in most cases, everything in the estate property has been utilized under your Social Security number. Your driver's license, your certificate of title to the vehicle, your loans at the bank, your student loan, your mortgages. They're all tied into that Social Security number. So basically you declare that Social Security person a dead estate and get an estate EIN for it. Then you have your fiduciary over the foreign grantor trust and your estate EIN persons as the individual banker. He is now going to become the fiduciary agent or the hospitable agent for your private bank for your individual banker's EIN. Nonprofit tax exempt EIN. Like I said, we owe no taxes. They're the ones that owe it to us. In Admiralty, the Admiral don't pay the taxes. And Admir stands for Prince, just like the first four letters in America. Amer stands for Prince. You are a prince of the land. You're also a prince upon the sea. Therefore, you are an American Admiralty vessel, able to operate on land and sea. A prince who can operate on land and sea, under the full protections of the nation. The fourth EIN down the road that you will get will be a Church of Rome Postmaster EIN, so that you can put a claim in against your inheritance at the Church of Rome or the Roman the Bank of Rome Bankrupt Treasury Trust. This is pointed out and basically on my certificate of baptism because I have a notation confirmation name to where I took a middle name of Paul, and that was the third 7-year contract on my baptismals, on my certificate of baptism. The first 7 years contract was under the baptism, The second contract was under the communion, first communion. And then the third contract, 7-year contract, was under confirmation. Most churches don't show that. But the Roman Catholic does show it on their certificate of baptism. People badmouth some of these organizations, and they don't even have any goddamn idea what the shit they're really doing. So please knock it off. Because you don't know what the shit you're talking about. We take this in, we get it notarized. Then we put it into the county recorder's office. Do both of them. The second one's going to be basically about 2 pages in length for all the items that I have. Yours will probably be about the same because you're going to have to list your bank accounts and everything else on there. That you're coming in and putting all of those assets. Okay? All of those marketable titles and entitlement securities under your control, okay? And you've got to come in and terminate those custodians out of the picture. Then we can turn around and put in our claims, because now our name or our accounts will be released from the alien property custodians, and we will basically be remarked so that in Admiralty, so that we can basically draw from the Bureau of Physical Services using our different claims in the process, that 1455 and the 1522 form, and also the SF 1047 form to claim back our credits of what we paid out here for all the deposit receipts that we have. Okay. I think I covered just about everything that really needs to be done here. Now, ask questions or forever hold your peace.
Okay, Patrick, that's your revision of the lien downloaded, and I have it posted up and e-concurrent.
You got it posted?
Yes, I have it posted.
Okay.
Okay. So did I misread it that we don't go into the bank and deposit?
Okay, for the bank account, okay? One of the guys, Chris, basically, he got a Direct Express debit card. They sent him one. No funds in it, but they sent it to him.
Right.
That Treasury Direct debit card, Direct Express debit card, comes from the Department of the Treasury. It's a debiting card. They try and claim that you can only get that if you are getting benefits. It don't make any sense if that is the only thing that can do. It's got to have a broader usage in the process. If not, basically then they're going to have to turn around and get us a completely different debit card from the Department of the Treasury. We don't need to open up a commercial bank account.
Okay.
In most cases, these commercial banks do not want us in there. We don't need them. We can come in and use their ATM machines. They can't prevent that. But they can prevent you doing anything over their counters.
Now, your new special endorsement for the birth certificate looked like it was looking for the medallion. Is that from the bank, or we do that at the county
That
court?
wasn't. I took the medallion part off. I just left the seal.
Okay.
Either the official seal or stamp of an office in the courthouse.
Okay. No
in the
bank.
state of Iowa, to have an official seal from the clerk of the court, it's going to cost you $10. The county recorder here doesn't charge anything, or hasn't charged me anything yet for the usage of that official seal. That is the financial institution that we need to really operate with, is basically the courthouse or the banking house. Either a state banking house or the federal banking house.
Okay.
Clerk of the court at the bankruptcy court. If you're located next to one of them. All that clerk of the court is just basically the teller at the window, at the bank. Somebody sent me a document about the two different banks in this country. The guy did a pretty good write-up, but basically he didn't have the full understanding about really what the two different banks really are. The Constitution of each state creates a state bank. The Constitution of a nation creates a national bank. The national bank overrides all the state banks. And see, he didn't mention anything about going to the courthouses, as they are the banking houses that we need to operate with. You want services? Where do you go? You go to the courthouse. Say, here, I want garbage pickup. You go down to the county commissioners and say, okay, I want garbage pickup. How much is it going to cost me? Pay the bill. I don't want school taxes because I don't have no damn stinking kids. So I'm not going to pay any school taxes because I'm not using it. I may gift them something, but basically, you're not going to come in and try and tell me I have to. We have the right of free choice. Let's get it back here. All of these codes of law, just like the canons of law in the Episcopalian Church, the Mormon Church, the Roman Catholic Church, all these other churches out here, the Amish, the Mennonites, all of their damn codes of law are moral issue laws. The Constitution of this country prevented the states and the nation from creating moral issue laws. That is under the First Amendment of the Constitution. Therefore, when you come in and claim your Admiralty vessel, you stand under the full protections of the Constitution and all the Bill of Rights. Now you have your full rights and powers. You have the right to carry a gun. You have the right to your own beliefs, to your own choices, as long as you do not harm anybody else. You cause harm, and you're going to get tried and punished for causing the harm. This goes all the way back to the latest version of the Ten Commandments under Moses. But it also goes back to Jesus with the two commandments that he gave. Condensed everything down to two. Our founding fathers did one hell of a damn good job of what they set up for us. But we, the people, have totally destroyed that by listening to bullshit artists, the deceivers, the devil, just like Eve did, taking the damn apple off the tree. See, humanity hasn't changed one damn bit since this last Genesis go-around in the last 50,000 years. Okay, questions, comments, rebuttals. Star 6 if you want to talk. Anybody out there?
Patrick, I have a question for you. I understand we don't owe taxes, but should we, and if so, what form should we be filling out for all these EINs, or should we even worry about sending in something on them for, this year's filings in April?
Why file?
Okay.
Do you owe taxes? I told you you didn't.
No, I don't. I don't owe taxes.
Okay, then forget it.
Okay, perfect. That's a great answer. That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
All they're doing is trying to operate under threat and intimidation. Stop being intimidated by them. That's the problem.
Yeah. I didn't know if we needed to do it for their record keeping, because they're record keepers.
Well, you have your records, and basically now you know which forms you have to fill out. But you have to come in and claim your title. Then you can turn around and you fill out your form to claim your assets back. Right. All the receipts that you paid out all year long.
Right.
You gave the letters of credit out there. They've been using our letters of credit. They owe us. We don't owe them anything.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Why keep increasing the national debt? Why not let's start claiming that national debt, because it's a debt that the corporations owe to us. If we don't claim it, they're going to terminate it, and basically we're going to lose out everything.
These are the EINs are all non-taxable, right?
Correct.
The individual banker's EIN is non-taxable. The estate and the foreign grantor trust, if they need to have brokerage fees taken out, they will, but they're not taxed.
Okay, right, okay.
Patrick, when we do the EINs to claim the assets, we also claim all the receipts where we spent those ferns buying all that stuff.
That was the time you do the EIN.
Oh, when do you?
That's later.
After you get your EINs, okay, then you have to do a Form 56F with your individual banker being the fiduciary over your estate EIN and over your foreign grantor trust EIN. But you have to first get rid of the alien property custodians.
Okay.
Until you get rid of the alien property custodians, your attorney general, the U.S. trustee, the vicar generals at the churches, that's the fourth EIN that you will get down the road, and that is a Church of Rome postmaster EIN.
Right. You did say that, yeah.
But you don't need that right now. You need to get these others going.
Okay.
Then you turn around, and when you have this actual notice of American Admiralty lien and a light estate deed document notice on file, and you get a certified copy of it, and then you get the other document, okay, the baptismal one that I posted up there, then basically that one, you have those two certified copies, and you basically are going to come in and you're going to terminate those alien property custodians. Then they have to release all of the assets back to you, whether it's turning the assets completely over to you or just releasing the red flag over your name that's sitting down there at the Bureau of Public of Physical Services office, so that they now, when we send our 1455 and the 1522 forms into them, or our SF 1047 forms into them, they have to process them. But right now, because we got a red flag because of the alien property custodians, shitheads that they are, have blocked us.
I'll come back later.
But if you have a bill right now, send it in and basically put the order into that alien property custodian, to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Say that you're coming in Admiralty and you have a lien claim against this item.
Hey, Patrick, is that the notice to all law enforcement officers? Is that what
No, that is entirely different.
Okay, I'm looking for it on the Yahoo group. I don't see what you're talking about yet. Is it there, Tom?
I haven't posted the one up for the estate yet, okay?
Oh.
For the living estate. I think I did post one up to you the other day.
When you were talking about the American Admiralty lien, I was looking for it.
Well, basically, he should have just posted one up there. My American Admiralty lien vessel, Rev 2.
Okay.
Right.
I'm looking for it.
That's up there by that actual name.
Okay.
It's also should be on the Skype group if you can get in a Skype.
That one failed on the Skype group.
I thought I reposted it.
Let me look.
Been sent to 10 people. Well, Rev 1 has been sent to 10 people. I haven't posted the other one.
Well, after Rev 1 it failed some. After a few people it failed.
I'll go. I'll look for it on Skype, and it's definitely not on the Yahoo group.
Yes, it is.
It starts with
My American Admiralty lien vessel, Rev 2.
I don't know. I'm looking for it. I don't find it. I'm looking for it.
I'll look it again.
Which group are you on?
Yahoo! We the People shareholders.
Oh. Well, I'm talking about the Skype group.
Okay, I'll go there and look for it.
Yeah, you can check it out. Tom's probably got it posted in
over there.
I'm looking at it on Yahoo right now.
Yeah, it's right there. It's in the My American Admiralty, a lien vessel, Rev 2, posted at 7:44. 7:44. I guess that's Eastern time. Yeah. So it's the second one.
It just came on. I see it.
Well, then you just refreshed your browser.
I didn't scroll up high enough or something. I see it now. It's the first one on the list.
No, there's one more. A lien Rev 1. So you need to refresh your browser again.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I just was looking for it.
And Tom, I think you posted these in folder 38 on the e-concurrent site, right?
Right. They're all there.
Okay. Go in. The latest documents should all be in folder 38 on e-concurrent.
Okay, I have
.com.
to add some software to e-concurrent. Right now, e-concurrent is in alphabetical order. And I'm going to put some software on there where you can do either alphabetical or reverse date order.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions?
Wow, these are lots of good information here.
No, we've got to do some serious reading. He posted up an awful lot there. I mean, the background material it'll help us really understand the simple pages that he has to send into the courts.
Right.
See, they promised to pay everything when they took the money away from us under H.R. 192 or whatever the hell that damn thing was.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay? And basically, but the deceivers out here, with all their codes and everything else, have tried to prevent this. They're nothing more than a damn fraudulent insurance company. Get you to buy insurance and then try and renege on every damn thing that they can that they don't have to pay you. Oh, you did this. You did that. Well, we're not going to pay you because you did that. That wasn't what the original intent of the damn supposed promise was in the get-go. They're out there rewriting the contracts constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need to get rid of them, because they're not trustworthy. None of these representatives or senators, you can't trust one of them, because they're all controlled by the bankers. They'll all be strung up and shot.
Right.
But that's only after we get the lawful law enforcement people on our side of the fence first. Then we'll let them take care of that for us. Then they have the law working behind them. So don't go out there and try and do any vigilante shit on your own. Nobody have any questions? Okay, call tonight, Tom.
We got a lot of studying to do, Patrick. I'm sure our questions
Thank you,
will be more like.
Patrick. Yes, you gave us a lot of material so that we can understand what you're doing.
I'll be reading it
Thank
for
you.
2 or 3 days.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.